Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to introduce you to the first comic. This guy won Most Charismatic Comic at the International Comedy Festival at the Comedy Greens in Laurie's backyard. Please welcome Mike Manzouras.
Thank you, Russ. Wow, it's really great to be up here. Thanks, everybody, for coming. It's such an honor. I'm so excited to be here that I got a new vest. Huh? Thank you. So I got 3 teenagers. 2 are 19 and 1 is 16. And that means that recently I have taught 3 Generation Z kids how to drive a car. Have you done that yet? Well, if you haven't, teaching a kid to drive is the greatest family bonding experience, except for applying to colleges. Do you ever think the anxiety we feel applying to colleges is just carryover PTSD from teaching our kids to drive? So teaching a kid to drive is stressful, but I got a way to help you deal with that stress. You get a few of those car magnets that say, "Be patient, new driver." You put one on the front of your car, you put one on the back of your car, and you put one right in front of you in the passenger seat. So the driving lessons, they kind of go like this. It's just you and your daughter in the car, and the first time you strap on that passenger belt, that's when you know why it's called a safety belt. But it's not for my safety. It's for my daughter's safety, to keep me from strangling her. And when my daughter's driving, I try to be patient, but there's always so much screaming from all the pedestrians. And I'll be honest, no one knows how to talk to their kids, but you gotta try. I said to my daughter, "Do you know how fast you were going?" And she said, "Well, where do I see that?" My son thought the car's battery warning light was telling him to plug in his phone. And my daughter thought the low tire pressure warning light was a happy emoji. Then she told me to scroll up the window. So I spent so much time teaching my kids to drive that eventually we hit a wall. Then we hit a parked car. Then we hit a trash can and the walkway lights. Maybe if all those things had been moving, they would have been harder to hit. All those things were my fault. Apparently, I put the driveway too close to the walkway lights. So a kid with a learner's permit can take you to run errands. I said, "I want to go to Best Buy." My daughter says, "I don't want to go to Best Buy. I want to go to Sephora." I said, "Absolutely not. After all these years of her getting everything she wants, it's finally my turn. And I'm not about to let my teenage daughter dictate the terms of this agreement." So anyway, we're driving to the Sephora. So we're driving to the Sephora, and I know you're not supposed to take a brand new driver on the hutch, but I say she's ready for it. So we're merging onto the highway, and I'm proud of her because right away she gets her first middle finger. It is a proud moment in a father's life when you learn that your daughter can keep the car in the center of the lane while shouting obscenities. I guess she was paying attention when her mother was driving. So when you're on the highway, you got to be careful how you word your instructions because it's easy to hear things wrong when everyone's on edge. I said to my daughter, "Slow down, put on your blinker, and ease over into the exit lane." What she thought I said was slow down, stop in the road, and cry. My bad. So I'm on Merrineck Road by the middle school. I said to her, "You're driving way too fast for a school zone." And she said, "I'm not driving too fast. You're wrong." Well, it's my fault she talks that way. I told her when she drives, she should be defensive. So the reason they put teaching your kid to drive right before applying to colleges is to give you practice. Because the same instructions that you give to your driver, you give to your kid applying to colleges. Signal your intentions. Stay in your lane. Don't worry about where the other cars are going to college. Then we made an early decision to get off the exit, but we got rejected. It's okay, we made it into our safety exit. So a kid learning to drive has got to go to driving school. We sent our kids to the best, most prestigious, and elite driving school in all of Scarsdale. Some guy named Kevin. So my older kids went to Kevin's driving course during COVID over Zoom. You only had to be logged in to receive credit. You didn't have to come on camera. But if you were to force all the kids to turn on their cameras, you would have seen nothing but Scarsdale mothers taking the class for their kids. They will do anything to get out of waiting in the high school pickup line. So where do you send your kids to take the driving road test? It's a question much debated on the Scarsdale Buzz. What we all agree on is Scarsdale kids should not go to White Plains to take the driving road test. There's an instructor there who gets all the Scarsdale kids. Her name is Fail Gale. She's a former Quaker Ridge lunch lady with a grudge. So I'm not into the whole Scarsdale one-up, try to get an edge on everyone thing. But my kids did all pass the driving road test on the first try. Thank you. My kid is going to create an Instagram page for passing the driving test. So suck on that, University of Michigan. So I'm going to show you something. What do you think of my shirt? It says, best driving instructor ever. You like? My kids did not get me this. I got it from Kevin. So anyway, I made it through to the other side. My kids all have their licenses, so I'm just going to tell a little joke. What has two thumbs and never has to drive a kid anywhere ever again? This guy. Thank
Mike Manzoris.